Now, I just want to put something else in the
Mhm.
mix because our listeners will go start doing things, and then, as
Right.
you know, when you start clicking, suddenly, wait a minute, they didn't mention
That's not
this.
how they described it. Yeah.
So when you go to that under brand analytics, you have the option to select brand view and ASIN view.
Yes,
So
which is
first of
very
all,
important.
yeah, top search term capability. Is that clarify for us? Is that available on both, or do they have to select? Do they have to select the ASIN view?
So what's interesting about the top search terms is it's not exactly built like the search query performance where you can go from the brand or ASIN view. You can put your brand in there and get a view from that, and put an ASIN in there and get a view from that. You can do both, but it kind of just defaults to a weekly reporting range and doesn't default to a brand or ASIN view like the search query performance, interestingly enough. You can input those terms like your brand, um, and a product, but it doesn't have it on that view, kind of
Yeah.
like search query does.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
So don't worry about that part. Just put the keyword. So once you put the keyword in, now you are getting the top three listings that are
Correct.
taking market share, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, from that, what you are able to get an idea on is really your customer acquisition cost, because you are seeing, first of all, you can go see how much your keyword is going to cost in
Mhm.
terms of bidding, and you see who is converting and what kind of purchases. So this is key to you deciding. And by the way, they are going to put your listing there as well. So it's
Yep.
not that, like, it's a good idea for you to have keyword by keyword what market share you have.
Mm-hmm.
Based on your percentage of the market share, what is the total market,
Right. And then
and
how
who
much of
is
the
taking,
market are
yeah,
your top three competitors taking up?
yeah, and who is taking. Okay,
Mhm.
so but this requires you to plug in a keyword, right, to get a sense. So how
Yep.
can you expand your keyword pool from that? You just simply go look at the competition and look at their keywords and compare it to yours and then add to yours. Would that be the way to do it?
That would be one way to do it. And I believe that this should supplement any other data that you get from this dashboard. I am a firm believer of using all the tools at your disposal to get the most efficient way, or the most efficient data to use, if you will. So you can download this report, which is really nice because after you download it, you can kind of sort these terms by search frequency rank. So in the clay bracelet example, I just did that. Clay bead bracelet kit is the one that has like the best rank. So what you can do here is kind of review all the other search terms that kind of have a good rank, see what's relevant, include those search terms, but then also be aware of those competitors that are taking up the top three slots and the top three market share for that keyword, and seeing if we can further go in there. What I think is a good strategy, in general, if we have a search term, that has competitors that I guess altogether are only taking up 15% of the overall market. It could be a saturated market in this example, but we know that the top three competitors, let's just say they're taking like 5% a piece or something like that. By the way, this is a very unrealistic example. I'm just trying to paint some numbers here. Let's just say they're all taking up 5% of the market. Okay, well, how can we take up 5% of the market based off of this? And also in this example, let's just assume nobody's a household brand or anything like that, because obviously they're going to take up market share and that's going to be a really hard hill to climb. But let's just assume these are all just normal people who are just selling on Amazon trying to make a buck. What are they doing to take up 5% of the market share? Like, have they had any sales recently? You can also review that with Helium 10. What keywords? How many keywords? How are they presenting the listing? Do they have any videos? I know that some of these elements are kind of getting outside of the funnel of search terms, but what I'm getting at is there are multiple things that you want to take into consideration outside of just the keywords that those top competitors are indexing on. You would also want to review the top search terms in that niche. What I like about the top search terms as well is you can also further refine it by category with the search term. So I didn't like the category by itself, but if we use it in conjunction with the search term field, we can get some more granular data. So whenever I try clay bracelet in the art category, for example, there's only a few search terms, but if I do it in the jewelry category, which I know you guys can't see my screen, but I'm gonna paint the picture for you, kind of get a few more keywords. And then that also helps you too, because depending on your product, you might not even be in like the category that you need to be in, or maybe your competitors are in a different category that they don't need to be in, which in turn, gives you more leverage in the correct category. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to digest this data and break it down. But to put it simply, you can utilize the top search terms from that page, from that download, and also cross-reference with the Helium 10 data or whatever your favorite search tool is. Mine's clearly Helium 10, but
Yeah. I mean, listen, just to be practical, you can look at who else is getting business from that keyword. And then
correct.
just go look at their listing.
Yeah.
Forget the data part, look at their images, because images are playing the biggest role. So what are they doing in their images that are getting
Exactly.
results?
Why are they converting and you're not?
Yeah, exactly. So and then you can get into the data part, so different ways.